Hello, hello, English learners. Welcome back to the Daily English Podcast, your cozy place to learn easy, real English and improve your life at the same time. And I'm Anna, really happy you're here with us today.
And I'm Tom. Hi, everyone. And before your mind says, I'll watch this later, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell because those small actions really support us.
Now, Tom, maybe some people listening right now feel super motivated today, like everything is possible and they're ready to change their life.
But maybe someone else is lying on their bed right now looking at their to-do list like it's a horror movie.
And that list is just staring at them.
Yeah, the to-do list is like, I'm waiting, and you're staring back like, not today, please. And honestly, we've all been there.
But if you're listening right now, you already did something strong, something important, because you showed up.
And that is not small at all, even if you feel tired, confused, or overwhelmed.
Because success is not one big heroic moment where everything changes suddenly.
It's the small moments, when you're tired, when you want to quit, when your energy is low, and you still take one small step forward.
And today, we want to give you that kind of strength. Not loud motivation, not pressure, but quiet strength.
The kind of strength that slowly changes your mindset and then slowly changes your life.
So today's topic is change your mindset. And this is for any goal you have.
Learning English, losing weight, learning a new skill, saving money, building confidence, or just feeling better about yourself.
Because mindset is the way you think and the way you talk to yourself every single day.
And that inner voice in your head can either build you up or quietly hold you back.
Tom, today we want to show our listeners how a small shift in mindset can completely change the way they approach learning English, because most learners don't realize that thinking differently is more powerful than memorizing more words.
That's right, Anna, and many times learners think that speaking perfectly is the most important thing, but the real secret is how they talk to themselves in their mind. And if their inner voice says, I can't do this, that alone stops them from trying.
Exactly. So our goal is to help them notice those thoughts like, I'm too shy, or I'll never improve, and then gently guide themselves to try anyway, even if it feels uncomfortable at first.
And uncomfortable is normal because growth always feels a little strange, a little hard. And learners often give up too early just because they don't see instant results, which is why mindset matters more than speed.
One small mindset trick is to replace I can't with I'm learning, because that subtle change instantly reduces pressure and allows them to speak more freely, which is something most beginners overlook.
Another thing is focusing on action, not feelings. So even if you feel nervous, saying one sentence aloud trains your brain to connect thinking and speaking naturally, and over time, it becomes automatic.
Many learners are afraid to make mistakes. But mistakes are feedback, not failure. And when you practice this way, your brain rewires itself to accept trial and error as part of learning.
And this is why repeating small phrases every day is so important, because repetition trains both the mind and mouth to work together, creating confidence without pressure.
Another point is noticing emotions, because if learners feel stressed, their inner voice often becomes critical, and simply recognizing that feeling and gently continuing changes everything.
And humor helps too. Laughing at your mistakes or awkward sentences reduces tension, which is why learners who enjoy the process improve faster than those who panic about perfection.
So mindset is not positive thinking alone. It's practical thinking that prepares the brain to act even when conditions aren't perfect. And that's a key lesson for anyone learning English.
And small actions matter more than huge bursts, like saying one sentence today and one tomorrow builds a habit which eventually shapes the way learners feel about English.
Another tip is self-reflection. At the end of the day, noticing one small achievement trains the mind to focus on progress, not mistakes, which is exactly the mindset shift we want to show.
Learners should also stop comparing themselves to others because each person's journey is unique, and mindset helps them focus on their own growth, not what someone else is doing.
And patience is part of mindset. Progress may feel slow, but slow progress accumulates into real, lasting change over weeks and months.
Combining patience, repetition, and self-kindness creates a mindset that naturally supports learning and speaking English without fear or hesitation.
And learners should celebrate small wins, like successfully saying one sentence or understanding one line of a podcast, because that reinforces positive inner voice and encourages consistency.
Mindset also helps learners notice opportunities, like words in their environment, new phrases from friends, or listening chances they might have missed before, which makes learning fun and real.
Finally, mindset is about accepting where you are today, acting anyway, and trusting that consistent effort will gradually create the results you want. And that is the quiet power we want everyone to practice.
And when learners follow this, they start speaking English with less fear, more joy, and slowly realize that mindset truly drives progress more than any single lesson or grammar rule could ever do.
Tom, one thing I notice is that learners often overthink before they even say one word, and that thinking too much habit can block their natural flow for minutes, hours, or even days, which is why noticing the habit itself is the first step toward change.
Absolutely, Anna. I've been there too, where I'd rehearse a sentence in my head 10 times, worried about pronunciation, grammar, or tone, and by the time I opened my mouth, the moment had passed. And mindset shift is exactly about letting go of that mental perfectionism.
And when learners let go even just a little, the first sentence might feel messy, but it starts training their brain to accept imperfection as normal, which eventually builds confidence faster than trying to get everything perfect from the start.
Humor is also a secret weapon, because when you laugh at your own mistakes, it releases tension, makes learning fun, and shows your brain that trying and failing is not dangerous but actually helpful, which is a huge mindset lesson.
Another mindset tip is focusing on small wins, like understanding one word in a podcast, saying one new sentence, or remembering a short phrase, because these small steps accumulate and your inner voice begins to say, I can do this more often.
And the inner voice matters a lot. If learners constantly criticize themselves, they create resistance. But if they gently encourage themselves, even in a funny or sarcastic way, their brain starts cooperating rather than fighting against them.
Many learners also forget that physical actions affect mindset. For example, standing up, smiling, or gesturing while speaking English signals to the brain that this is safe and okay. And suddenly, words flow more naturally.
Yes, Anna, and this is why shadowing exercises work so well, because your body, brain, and mouth practice together, reinforcing positive habits and making mindset shift tangible rather than abstract.
Reflection is another key. Learners who take a few minutes each day to notice one small achievement, one brave attempt, or one funny mistake create a mental pattern that reinforces progress instead of fear, which is the backbone of long-term mindset change.
And patience is part of the equation. Learners often quit too soon because they expect huge results immediately. But mindset shift is slow, quiet, and cumulative, and recognizing this prevents discouragement.
Another point is replacing self-criticism with curiosity. Instead of, I failed, say, what can I learn from this? And your brain shifts from fear to exploration, which naturally leads to better performance and enjoyment.
Social mindset is important too. Learners often feel judged by others, but remembering that everyone makes mistakes, even natives, creates freedom to speak without fear, and that's a subtle but powerful shift in perspective.
And when learners embrace mistakes as part of growth, they notice opportunities they would have ignored before, like talking to a stranger, asking a question, or trying a new phrase in real life.
Even tiny steps matter. Saying one sentence to a friend, answering one question in class, or even reading aloud for 1 minute trains the mind to associate action with success rather than fear.
Another fun trick is to mentally celebrate small actions, like silently giving yourself a thumbs up after one attempt, because your brain links effort with pleasure, reinforcing the positive mindset loop.
And humor, again. If you trip over words or mispronounce something, laughing lightly releases tension, keeps energy high, and trains the mind to see errors as part of real live learning rather than failure.
Consistency is more important than intensity. Practicing a little every day is better than cramming for hours once a week, because mindset grows through habit, repetition, and positive reinforcement over time.
And when learners see consistent progress, even small, their inner voice begins to naturally shift from I can't to I can try, which is the essence of sustainable mindset shift.
Finally, connecting mindset to purpose makes it stronger. Learners who remember why they are learning English, travel, work, communication, personal growth, create motivation that fuels patience and resilience.
And that connection between action, reflection, humor, patience, and purpose builds a mindset that not only supports English learning, but also carries over to other areas of life, creating real-life confidence step by step.
Tom, one thing I notice is that learners often get stuck comparing themselves to others, thinking, why can't I speak as well as them? And that comparison creates unnecessary pressure that blocks progress. So, mindset shift is about focusing on your own journey, not anyone else's.
Absolutely, Anna, because every learner has different experiences, strengths, and struggles. And when you accept that, you can celebrate your small wins without feeling behind, which slowly rewires your brain to see growth everywhere.
And celebrating small wins can be fun too, like saying, yes, I remembered that word, or I managed to speak one sentence today, because your brain learns to reward action rather than perfection.
Humor helps as well. If you mispronounce a word or mix tenses, laughing lightly instead of panicking makes your brain relax, and relaxed brains learn faster than stressed ones, which is why mindset includes emotional management.
Another thing is visualization. Imagine yourself speaking confidently, making small mistakes but continuing anyway, because your mind starts rehearsing success, and that mental practice strengthens real-life action.
And repetition is key. Repeating short phrases aloud every day creates automatic patterns in your brain, so your mouth and mind cooperate naturally, and gradually mistakes feel less threatening.
Many learners underestimate the power of voice. Speaking with energy, even slightly exaggerated gestures or intonation, signals confidence to your brain and makes mindset feel active rather than passive.
And body language reinforces mindset too. Standing up straight, smiling, and breathing deeply tells your brain, I'm ready to try, which makes sentences flow more naturally than slouching and hesitating.
Reflection after practice is also important. Noticing one sentence you said well or one word you remembered strengthens the inner narrative that you can do it, which slowly replaces doubt with belief.
And patience cannot be stressed enough. Mindset change is cumulative, and small daily practice over weeks adds up. So learners who persist quietly often outperform those who rush or try to do everything at once.
Another tip is curiosity. Asking, what can I learn from this mistake? Instead of criticizing yourself, flips your brain from fear mode to exploration mode, which is exactly what mindset training is about.
Social context matters too. Realizing that everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers, reduces fear of judgment and encourages learners to participate more, which accelerates learning naturally.
Fun exercises like speaking to a pet, a mirror, or repeating sentences in funny voices release tension and embed language in your brain in a playful, relaxed way that strengthens mindset.
And when learners integrate mindset, repetition, humor, reflection, and curiosity, they start noticing improvements faster than they imagined, which motivates them to continue without pressure.
Another subtle trick is journaling one small victory per day, even one phrase spoken or understood, because your brain begins associating effort with reward, making mindset positive and self-reinforcing.
And mindset also includes self-compassion. If you forget words or feel slow, acknowledging that as part of learning keeps frustration low and energy high, which is essential for long-term progress.
Energy management is often overlooked. Speaking while tired or stressed makes mistakes feel worse, so learners should pair mindset practices with short breaks, deep breathing, or stretches to keep mind and body aligned.
Listening builds mindset too. Hearing sentences repeated calmly and slowly, even without speaking, reassures the brain that English is learnable and mistakes are normal, which reduces fear when you speak.
Another point is setting tiny goals. One sentence per day, one word per hour, one phrase per conversation. Tiny wins feel achievable, which trains mindset to focus on action rather than perfection.
And finally, integrating mindset into daily life creates real-life confidence. Every small attempt, every gentle encouragement to yourself builds a resilient inner voice that supports English speaking naturally and continuously.
And remember, dear learners, if you enjoyed this lesson, please hit the like button.
Subscribe to Daily English Podcast so you never miss a fun lesson, and share this video with your friends, especially those struggling with mindset.
Keep practicing a little every day, celebrate tiny wins, and laugh at your mistakes. They make learning fun and real.
And until we meet again, stay curious, keep your energy positive, and let your English grow step by step, because every small effort counts.
Goodbye, dear friends. Keep your heart brave, your mind strong, and your English alive.
See you next time. Keep smiling and speaking English with confidence.